What's up, guys? All right, so today we're going to talk about what it means to just be. When I lived in Scottsdale, I worked for my friend Dana, and she had a yoga studio, and it was called Just Be Yoga. And I didn't realize it at the point. I was like, oh, that's a cool name. I think a lot of us hear that, and like many things that are really subtle in this world, they have deeper meanings than we realize. And after scouring, thousands of books, 15 years of studies, and whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's really the essence of spirituality and the essence of how to have peace and how to live. That's like the art of living, is learning how to just be. So what does it mean? What does it mean for me? I'm still learning it. As we learn to be aware in our daily lives, we notice these ebbs and flows of energy. This is important. So the first thing is like awareness, like to know that you're changing. Like you'll get up in the morning, like, oh, it's going to be a great day, and then all of a sudden something happens, you're like, oh, I feel this weird energy. So you have to pay attention to that. That comes through awareness. And if you really start watching you could call it your emotional well-being, or your how well you feel, from feeling a lot of anxiety to feeling joy and bliss. It almost looks like, this is kind of funny, it almost looks like a candlestick pattern on like a Bitcoin or like a stock market. I mean, you have these times when you're just like, boom, 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 maybe your business is doing good, you meet the love of your life, and your life's just going great, and then all of a sudden you find out that she's not what you thought, or you lose all this money, or you go bankrupt, and it's just like the market crashes, and it's very synonymous with a candlestick chart, which is funny. So if you're paying attention to that, you can feel that in the micro, like, moments. Like, you can actually feel like for example, if you turn on Instagram, you're busting through it for maybe 30 seconds. If you're really paying attention, you can feel your energies drop, which is a social design to do that. And you'll be like, you can go back and say, why? I like the things I saw. But they're basically triggering your desires or your fears, right? So what does it mean to just be? To be is to be able to detach yourself from identifying with those external things which aren't real. And the way that I do it, I'm going to say it kind of briefly here because I want this video to be pretty short, is I go into what I call the seat of consciousness in the back of the head. Like when you're up in your brain, like imagine for a second that you're like this golf ball of consciousness and you can move it around. Like if you hit your hand with a hammer, or your finger with a hammer, that ball of consciousness goes right to the tip of your finger, right? And you're just like, oh my gosh, that hurts, right? So you can move your consciousness around. Like if you're also, when I was a kid, when they drilled my teeth, when I was at the dentist, they didn't use whatever they call it that they put in your mouth. Like they didn't use the deadening, and they would just clip, this is a horrible story, but they would clip a clothespin on my ear and say, pay attention to the pain in your ear, not in your mouth. So my point is, you can move your consciousness around. So when you're up in your head, that's when you get stressed out, you get anxiety, you get feeling certain ways, you get feeling whatever. You get ups and downs, like the candlestick pattern. But when you move back into the seat of the consciousness, which is kind of back at the base of the neck, where the skull meets the neck, you can practice this. It does take practice. It's like anything. Like you don't just grab a tennis racket and go play Johnny McEnroe and win, or whoever. It takes time. You have to learn how to do this. And this is alchemy, by the way, guys. This is how you become a master alchemist. It's taking the energies that come in and letting them pass through without attaching to them. It's really the essence of learning how to just be. So as you sit back in the back of your head, you can actually let go and watch these energies. Again, you've already built your awareness. This takes practice. You start to get some awareness. You can start to watch these energies as they come up, and you can just kind of laugh at them and detach from them. And, the problem with most of us in the beginning is we identify with them. We're like, yeah, I am a loser. Or, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Or, yeah, I did miss that opportunity. And all these thoughts that are coming through your head, which I can tell you in another video where they come from. It's pretty crazy. They're not you, trust me. You get identified with them. So how do you just be? You go sit back in the seat of consciousness and you just allow yourself. You think of, another way to think of it is, in a lot of the deep spiritual texts. Like, actually, I got one right here. This is, let's see if you can see that. Oh, there it is. I Am That by Maharaj. They talk about going to the I Am, and it's like going to this place where you come from. Like, where does your consciousness begin? And again, and for me, it's in the back of my head, and a lot of people. And so you go back to that pureness, like as it comes out, kind of like a movie projector before it hits the screen and makes all these pictures. You go back to that pureness, and it's the pure essence of I Am that is beingness. And this is, if you can master this one thing, not only can you not take on new traumas, or you can stop from taking on new traumas and going through these dark periods of anxiety and depression, but you can also, when you start to do that, it purifies you, and your energies start to flow up through and remove the old traumas, and old stuff will start coming out. And that is the process of alchemy, and that's what I've been working on for the last 2 years. I've been working on it for 15, but I just barely figured out how to do it. So just be, as simple as it is, or the word be, you know, they say be, do, have. Most of us do have, then be. Or something, we always get it backwards, right? So the be is the first thing, and it takes a lot of trust and faith to be able to do that, but hopefully that helps, and it brings you some peace. And if you guys want some more information on how to do it, I actually have a recording. I'm thinking about starting up my school group again, and I have a process that allows you to do it. It's called the roar technique. It allows you to move through energies and basically get rid of traumas and things like that. And also, if you guys have something you want me to talk about, post it in the comments.